All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready to get to it? Let's get into Van Jones. I heard Van Jones was crying. He shed a tear, a small one. I believe that Van Jones is on CNN just to be the emotional one. The emotional black man. Let's get into it.
Reporting about conversations between President Biden and Vice President Harris. I want to go back to CNN's Priscilla Alvarez, who is covering all of this from Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Priscilla, what are you learning?
Caitlin, I'm told by a source that President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris spoke today. It's unclear exactly at what time they spoke. Remember, the president put out his letter publicly that he would not seek re-election earlier this afternoon. But the president made clear after that letter that he was putting all of his support behind Vice President Kamala Harris to be the Democratic nominee, and also calling on the party to come together. Now, the vice president was on the trail yesterday. She was at a fundraiser in Massachusetts, where, again, she was defending the administration's record and also trying to underscore the stakes of the election. It was a fundraiser that brought in more than $2 million. Today, however, she was back in Washington, D.C. at her residence and with her staff. So this latest reporting is that the president and the vice president have spoken. That, according to a source who I spoke with, we're still trying to get more information as to what that conversation looked like and when exactly it happened. But significant all the same.
Yeah, of course, and also fascinating to learn about these conversations that he was having. Obviously, you expect him to speak with the vice president about this. Priscilla, keep us updated on what you're learning about this. We also have Van Jones joining us. He is CNN's senior political commentator and a former Obama administration official. And Van, obviously, you and I were talking a lot about this dynamic and how this was ultimately going to play out when we were covering the Republican convention in Milwaukee last week. And with this news, this entire campaign has just upended itself.
He's holding back right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of political stuff. The Democratic Party is a family at the end of the
day. He already conjuring up tears before he even started talking. All this political stuff. I don't know. Oh, Jesus Christ. Come on, Van, spit it out, buddy.
This is a family matter. You know, Joe Biden's body may not be as strong as it used to be. His language skills may not be as sharp as they used to be. His heart is as big as ever. His heart is as big and as true and as strong. And this is the difference between a politician and a leader. He made a selfless decision, and people are heartbroken. Even people who are pushing for this to happen. It's kind of like when your grandpa, you got to take the keys, and everybody, you got to take his keys, you got to take his keys, you got to, and he's fighting, and everybody's so frustrated, and then you finally get the keys back, and then you just cry.
What is he talking about? What? And let me give a round of applause for the acting job that Van Jones is. Why is he crying all the time? Van Glorious. Why would you cry because you got the keys out of their hand and you preventing them from killing themselves from driving down the road? That makes no sense. And then you just cry. Yo, we need to get all of these guys out of therapy and back into the jungle. Man, ain't nobody got no backbone. Ain't nobody got no balls no more. Everybody just want to cry. Do y'all just want to cry? You already got the sniffles in your voice, the wiggles in your voice. Jesus.
Because this is somebody that you love. This is somebody that you care about. This is somebody who was there for you. This is somebody you wouldn't be here without him. And you have to take something from him. Now, this is not, look, politics is politics. But this is a human moment for one of the great humans in America. This is a huge moment for him, for his family, for all of us who love him, for all of us who wanted him to get across the finish line. But if you're a young person watching this, this is leadership. This is patriotism. This is what it means to put the country first and put the party first and put the cause first. When your arm gets tired, you let somebody else finish pitching the game. That's what Joe Biden has done, and he's done that for all of us. And so I just want to say, I don't know who's going to be the VP, the non-VP. I don't know anything about politics. I just know that I love this man. I care about this man. It was painful every day to sit up here and talk about him like he's just some problem for the party. Wait till we get to the convention. You're going to see people crying, standing, screaming, cheering. He may not get a chance to talk for 10 minutes. We finally get a chance to put our arm around this guy.
Is he? All right, listen, hold on. Wait a minute. Trump just got an assassination attempt on his life. Trump just got an assassination attempt on his life. I'm going to read those super chats shortly. And we're crying because Biden, who is still in office, by the way, who's still the president of the United States of America, by the way, we're crying because he no longer is running for president of the United States of America as the incumbent. What are you talking about? Listen, honest to God, bro. I don't know what is going on, why we want to cry so much, what people are putting their hands around him for, or anything like that. We in multiple different wars. We giving a ton of money over to Ukraine and Taiwan and Israel, and he was just dancing on the White House lawn with the alphabet community and Billy Porter. Billy Porter was wearing a dress on the White House lawn, and they was just dancing. He was like this. Why would we feel sorry for a man whose son was sniffing coke off of hookers' booties? And allegedly they said that they found coke inside of the White House. Just so happened to be a time where somebody else just so happened to just be coming out of the White House. What are we talking about? He's the president. If they trying to make a moment out of this, similar to Trump just assassination attempt, Trump almost got his life taken, and people had no sympathy for him whatsoever. Oh well, must have been fate. They showed the bullet in slow motion. Blood flowing out of the part of your body that's more likely to have the most blood flowing out of. They was analyzing the color of the blood. This dude almost got his life taken. It's a firefighter that was sitting behind him that has got killed. And y'all talking about y'all gonna be putting your arms around Joe? Joe, who let 15 to 20 million illegal immigrants that we know of inside of the country. Seriously?
He did the right thing for this country. He did the right thing for this party. All of us are going to be in this situation someday, and I hope that we take a moment to honor this man and to love this man. I love Joe Biden. I appreciate what he's done, and a lot of people are heartbroken today. Even if it's the right thing, it's still just horrible.
Well, and Van, I mean, on that point, which
she
is
looked like
a
she
great
wanted
point that I think resonates with a lot of people, of the personal nature of a decision like this. We often talk about things in a harsh political lens of who's going to fare better, what this looks like. I mean, I also have to imagine what it's been like the last 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks since that debate, to see, you know, what the reporting has been behind the scenes of Democrats who wanted him to get out. On Friday night, the reporting was that he was seething over, you know, seeing big allies of Pelosi come out and call on him to get out, even upset to a degree with his former running mate, President Obama. And just to see, you know, what he personally has witnessed and these calls from his longtime allies, people who certainly praise his legacy, but said, you know, it's time for this decision to be made.
But haven't we all gone through this with our own family members? Like, yeah, he's hurt, he's pissed. A lot of us wouldn't have careers. I wouldn't have a career without Joe Biden. Joe Biden picked me out of the puppy pile. He's the person that everybody says you work for Barack Obama. No, I worked for Joe Biden when I was in the administration. I was on.
He picked you out of the puppy pile. What?
His middle class task force. You know, all of us have known that embrace. All of us have gotten those phone calls and those cards when bad things have happened to us. So, you know, that's a family. That's what it is. You know, he's hurt now. He feels let down. He feels that his friends turned on him. In the fullness of time, he'll recognize that it was done out of love and as loving a way as possible. But at the end of the day, some people, and I don't want to mention any names and ruin this day, but some people will back their leader no matter what. Some people, they don't care how many people this man has hurt, and how many laws he's broken, no matter how many bad things he's done. That's our leader. We're going to back him no matter what. But this party is not like that.
Because guess what, Van? They don't want him to take the whole party down with him. Listen, the biggest thing that I realize what was happening. When we were seeing Joe Biden trip up the steps and the Secret Service have to say, hey, go this way, Joe. They had to join hands in order to make sure that he don't go the wrong way. And when he would get off the airplane, he had to have earplugs, and then they gave him some orthopedic shoes and stuff. When I was looking at all of that, and then the caveat, the cherry on top is when he actually did the debate, I was thinking to myself, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. The longer that Joe stays in the office, the better it is for the Republican Party. The longer that Joe stays in the office, the better it is for the Republican Party. And so with other people like Nancy Pelosi, I got to give her a little bit of credit, even though I don't necessarily care for her. And she was kneeling inside of the African-American Museum with the kente cloth on during the George Floyd protests. And she was like, geez, yes, George Floyd. As I watched a lot of these smarter leaders say, you know what, Joe? They over there really basking in the idea that the longer that he stays in office, the longer he stays in the race, we all gonna burn with him. They taking us all down with him, because when people vote, they vote straight down the ticket. They don't even go left. They vote straight down the ticket. And so what they realized was that, listen, man, we got to get this guy out of here. We got to figure out how to have him gracefully exit, say that he got the vid, sit him over down there with his quilt and his blankie, send him over to Delaware. We're going to get Kamala Harris over there at Boulay. We're going to get her to activate all of the black women in the black community in order to get the diversity, equity, and inclusion politics into the office. And we're going to go at it full steam ahead. They were smart. The longer that he stayed in the office, the better it was for us. But neither here nor there. There it is. That's Van Jones with a tearful apology because Joe Biden picked him out of the puppy pile, and now he's on CNN, and he continues to cry. Every few years, he gives us a moment of tears to help us to understand exactly how much he loves Biden. All right.